Why aren't you consistently releasing new music? Russ releases a new song every single week, and if you really want to compete today, you should be doing the same. In this video, I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of being an independent artist in 2020, and we're starting now. What's good, y'all? They call me Manny, and this is a new Q&A video where I answer your questions. In my last Q&A video, I answered the question, who are my biggest influences as an artist? I detailed 4 key artists that inspired me along the way, and if you want to learn more about those artists, go ahead and click right here to watch the video. In the comment section, I always ask for questions for future videos, and I got a really good comment from JR. He said, I definitely have a question, a serious question. Why aren't you consistently dropping new music? You make great music, but I feel like you don't drop enough music. I'm a huge fan, but at times I forget about you because I don't hear your music often. You need to follow the RUSS blueprint and at least drop a new track every single week until you can get the spotlight that you need and deserve. He went on to say that he was also listening to me since he was 15 and that he had some of my old songs burned, and he was really excited when I dropped Prequel, but kind of upset that I didn't release new music since then. And I hear you, I feel you, and I agree with you 1000%. You are absolutely right. I'm also a big fan of Russ, by the way, and I would love to get myself to the position where I'm releasing a brand new song every single week. That's goals. But I'm far, far from it. And in this video, I'm gonna talk about some of the challenges that I'm looking to overcome in order to get to that point. You're gonna wanna watch this video to the end so you can get all of the details. But before I start, hit that thumbs up button, because if you don't, then YouTube won't recommend this video to more people. Subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any of my videos every single week. And make sure you hit that notification bell, because if you don't, then YouTube doesn't let you know when my new videos are released. My YouTube is broken up into different styles of videos. Music, of course, my brand new podcast, On the Way Home Radio, stories where I give you insight about my career, and Q&A where I answer your questions. If you have a question you want me to answer in a following video, make sure you ask away in the comment section below. So challenge number 1, I'm not a full-time musician. When I think about the eras of my life that I released the most music, I had the opportunity of either working part-time or not at all. It's definitely a lot harder to be consistently releasing music when the majority of your time is being spent on somebody else's dream. Something else that's a bit of a gift and a curse for me is that I am a bit of a perfectionist and an overachiever. I don't just do the bare minimum at work. I usually put myself in a position where I go above and beyond, which clearly takes more time out of my day. In my last position, I worked full-time while pursuing an accelerated master's degree program at FIU. Fitting music into that lifestyle, while of course also being a full-time dad, can clearly be a challenge. However, I learned something about myself. If I could find the time to pursue a master's degree while working full-time, then I could definitely find the time to pursue music while working full-time. All I really need to do is to schedule myself as efficiently as I did when I was pursuing my master's degree. So far, so good, and I'm personally pumped up about what I'm going to be able to accomplish. Everybody has a side hustle. What's yours? Let me know in the comment section below. But not being full-time is only one piece of the puzzle. Let's talk about the music itself. Challenge number 2. I write, produce, record, mix, and master all of my own music. I was personally never satisfied with the audio quality of any song I've ever released until Prequel. I had this concept called the 30%, that my music would get 70% of the way there, and I would struggle to get past the 30%. Before I released Prequel, I sought to figure this out. I hired different mastering engineers to master my mixed song at the 70%. And then what I would do is I would go right back into my DAW, which is Reason, and I would work to remix the song to match or be better than the master. I did this 3 times, paying different mastering engineers to work on my songs until I could figure out how to mix and master my music by myself. I could clearly save a ton of time by paying somebody to produce my music, maybe going to a studio to record my music, obviously paying somebody to mix and master my work, but the return on investment for each one of those songs would be on the floor unless one of them were to break out. Now, just because I'm mentioning this doesn't mean that I'm not willing to collaborate. I just haven't found a producer or an engineer that is as meticulous as I am about my own music and sound design. Do you know somebody I should collaborate with? Let me know in the comment section below. But the music business is exactly that. half music, half business. If you actually break it down by letter, it's 40% music and 60% business, which might actually be pretty accurate. It's probably worse. And so challenge number 3 is that I manage my entire online presence. All of the most successful artists are all over social media. They have a very well-designed website. They have an active and growing mailing list. Their social media just updates every single time they have a record that's released. And they often have a brand new merch line for each unique record. Not to mention their artwork and their design for their brand and their album covers. Am I missing anything? Yeah, actually, a ton. Publishing, copyright, marketing, accounting, general management for all of your accounts. Not to mention everything I do here on YouTube, video editing, lyric videos. I'd love to have a music video for every single song, but that goes back to the ROI statement that I just talked about earlier. You can easily go bankrupt if you try to hire all of these things out. I have, and I did. And I'll talk about that more in a moment. And lastly, the most important thing that takes up your time that I haven't even mentioned yet is communicating with fans. At this stage in my career, as long as I still can, I completely intend to reach out to every single fan who reaches out to me. If you've been seriously following my latest videos, then you'll know that today I'm far more focused on building individual connections with my biggest fans, maniacs. If you consider yourself to be a fan of my music, then you should subscribe to my mailing list by clicking here or through the link in the description below. Subscribing to my mailing list will keep you up to date with all of my latest music, and you'll be one of the first to know when a new song is out. I'm also giving away one free merch item every single month to a random active subscriber. So if you want a chance to win free merch, click the link in the description below. And this brings me to challenge number 4. I quit on my music career twice. Now, how is that a challenge? Let's talk about it. The first time I quit my career was shortly after the success of Out My Way. I thought I was never going to be able to replicate that success, and I fell into a bit of a depression. I talk about that in more detail in my latest podcast episode. You can click here to check it out. During this time, I had so many people telling me that I was wasting my time at work. Quit everything. Hire the people that can help you focus on your music and watch what happens. While many people just stay practical and probably end up living a life full of regret, I didn't. I actually quit my job. I actually paid people to manage my social media. I actually paid people to do my lyric videos and my music videos, and I had somebody to manage my business. All I had to do was focus on the music, but unfortunately, it didn't work out for me. And right now, I don't even want to begin to talk about how all of that affected me mentally. This challenge has everything to do with my very own mindset. I've been burned by a few partnerships, so I am more skeptical now than ever before about letting somebody else manage my business. Truth is, nobody cares more about your success than you. So instead of giving up, I actually took the time to learn everything that I needed to know to be as successful as possible. But clearly, that's taking up a lot of my time. So those are my challenges. What am I doing about it? I'm paying close attention to all of the time that I have outside of work and scheduling my time as if I had an assignment due. So far, so good. I've been getting a lot more done. I'm increasing my efficiency on getting past the 70% and working with some songs that I already have that are some personal favorites. I actually have a new song coming soon. Finally, I know. I've written down and planned just about everything that happens behind the scenes and getting myself to a point where I can efficiently manage all of it until I get to the point where I could ideally hire one of you, a maniac, to help me out along the process. And lastly, I'm lowering my own expectations to become less of a perfectionist. I started doing this by singing some unreleased songs on my Instagram. So if you want a sneak peek of what's about to come, you can head over there to find out. My link is in the description. I'm not gonna magically start releasing a song every single week, but it's definitely a goal of mine. So bear with me while I work my way up there. Thank you so much, AJ, for the question. I really and truly appreciate it. I'm humbled by the fact that you feel like I have the talent to succeed. If only I just was more consistent, I'd get there. It means a lot to me that you actually see that in me. It truly does. So make sure you subscribe so you know when my new videos are released, and click right here for a playlist of my stories so you can learn a little bit more about my career. Thank you so much for watching. It really means the world to me that you listen. Share this video with one friend, and as always, be great.